huge paper sellers coming through here, guys. We got fast market up on the boards here once again. We have seen some big paper sellers coming in. It all started out up above around 38 even here now, guys, talking about 25 handles of solid sell side activity here, guys. They have just teased the limit down in the S&P. Here they come to selling again. 9 halves trade night, 20 straight night, even straight here now, guys. 8 halves are trading as well. Once again, guys, they're going to get it in 8 halves trade, 8 even offer, 7 even offer, 6 halves are trading here now, 6 evens are trading, 5 evens are trading here now once again, 5 evens do trade here. You're going to get a new 5 even offer comes in, 4 evens are trading here now, 3 evens are trading here now, 3 even here now. You're going to get a low print of 11.03 even. Guys, 2 half offer, 2 evens are trading here now. Once again, I'm off of that 3 even here now, 2 half, but I'm out of that 3 half. 3 evens for here, guys. All evens are trading, the figure prints are trading, 9 halves are trading.
A single sell order, 75,000 contracts worth $4 billion hits the market. Within 10 minutes, the Dow Jones Industrial Average loses 9% of its value. Nearly $862 billion in market value vanishes. And then, just as fast, it comes back. The whole thing lasts 36 minutes. No single person caused it. No single person stopped it. Hundreds of thousands of algorithmic trading agents, each following their own simple rules, each reacting to what the others were doing, produced a system-wide collapse that nobody designed, nobody anticipated. And what is more, nobody could explain what was going on while it was happening. That is emergence. And it is the most important concept in understanding what Cloud Imperium Games is attempting to build inside Star Citizen. In episode 1, we established that Star Citizen's economy is mostly static, that prices don't yet meaningfully respond to famine, piracy, or systemic disruption, and that Cloud Imperium's proposed solution, StarSim, is a multi-agent simulation whose collective behavior is supposed to generate a living economy from the bottom up. We also established that this is a research problem, not a game design problem. In this episode, we're going to understand why. Because before we can evaluate what CIG is trying to build, we need to understand the science it's built on. And that science has a name. It's called agent-based modeling. And the 2010 flash crash is the most dramatic proof of concept it has ever produced, entirely by accident. For most of economic history, the way you modeled an economy was from the top down. You wrote equations, you described how aggregate quantities, total supply, total demand, average price levels, related to each other. You assumed that individual actors behaved rationally, that markets cleared efficiently, and that the system as a whole could be captured in a set of mathematical relationships. This is called equilibrium economics, and it works reasonably well, until it doesn't. Because real economies don't behave like equations. They behave like the flash crash. Individual actors make decisions based on incomplete information. They react to what others are doing. They form habits, copy each other, panic, speculate, and occasionally coordinate in ways nobody planned. The system that emerges from all of those individual decisions is not the system the equations predict. In the 1980s and 1990s, a group of economists, physicists, and computer scientists at the Santa Fe Institute started asking a different question. Instead of writing equations that describe the whole, what if you simulated the parts? What if you built a model from the bottom up? Individual agents, each with their own rules, their own information, their own objectives. And then you let them interact and watched what happened. The answer, almost every time, was something nobody expected. That approach is called agent-based modeling, and it became one of the most powerful tools in computational economics. Let me give you 3 examples that show what agent-based modeling actually produces. Starting with the simplest possible case. In 1971, economist Thomas Schelling ran an experiment. He wanted to understand residential segregation, why cities end up divided along racial or ethnic lines, even when most individuals don't consider themselves strongly prejudiced. His model was almost absurdly simple: a grid of squares. 2 types of agents, call them red and blue. Each agent has one rule. If fewer than 1/3 of my neighbors are the same color as me, I move to a random empty square. That's it. One rule. Mild preference. No malice, no strong ideology, no coordinated plan. What emerges from thousands of those individual decisions? Near total segregation. Every time. The collective outcome is extreme, even though no individual agent wanted an extreme outcome. The system produced something nobody designed. The second example is Sugarscape, built by researchers Joshua Epstein and Robert Axtell in 1996. Agents on a grid. They move towards sugar, a resource, consume it, and reproduce. Simple rules about metabolism, vision, and lifespan. What emerges? Wealth inequality that mirrors real-world distributions. Trade networks, cultural transmission, migration patterns, population cycles. From 600 agents following simple rules, an entire social system materializes. Nobody wrote the inequality into the model. Nobody scripted the trade networks. They emerged from individual decisions interacting over time. The third example you've already seen, the electricity market simulation from episode 1. 6 generator agents, each with their own marginal cost and bidding strategy, competing in a day-ahead power auction. Each agent uses a genetic algorithm to evolve its strategy over rounds. What emerges? A market clearing price, a merit order, competitive convergence toward marginal cost over time. And when you introduce a demand shock, a sudden surge in grid load, the price spikes. Peaking generators get called in, and the market slowly self-corrects. Nobody set the clearing price. Nobody scripted the convergence. The price emerged from the interaction of 6 independent bidding agents following their own rules. This is what agent-based modeling does. It produces outcomes the designer didn't write, because the outcomes aren't written anywhere. They emerge. Now I want to talk about 2 things that happened in Star Citizen recently. 2 things that, from my background in quantitative finance and computational economics, I found genuinely revealing. Not because they're surprising from a game design perspective, but because they're exactly what agent-based modeling theory predicts would happen when you run a static economy under live player pressure. The first is the Duping Crisis. By late 2025, a series of duplication exploits had flooded the Star Citizen persistent universe with aUEC and commodities on a massive scale. Players were accumulating billions, and in some cases trillions, of alpha credits. The in-game currency had become so abundant that players were giving it away freely. When I heard that, my immediate reaction as someone who models economic systems, was, where is the inflation? In a real economy, or in a functioning emergent simulation, flooding the money supply produces a systemic response. Prices rise, purchasing power erodes. Holders of the currency scramble to convert it into real goods before it loses further value. The system responds because the system is alive. But here's what actually happened in Star Citizen's commodity markets. The prices at trading terminals barely moved. Players had trillions of aUEC, and a box of agricultural supplies still cost roughly what it always had. Because the economy is still mostly static, the prices aren't set by supply and demand, they're set by designers in tables. And a table doesn't care how much money is in circulation. CIG's response went further than a wipe. Alpha 4.8 reset aUEC balances, in-game purchased vehicles, items, and reputation. And then Alpha 4.8.1 introduced transfer caps, daily limits, and recipient confirmation requirements for all player-to-player aUEC transfers. If you work in financial regulation, those controls look remarkably familiar. Transaction thresholds, daily caps, counterparty confirmation. We will come back to exactly why in a later episode. For now, a manual intervention, a designer reaching into the system and pressing reset, which is precisely what you have to do when your economy can't correct itself. Now here's the second thing, and it comes from the other end of the economic chain entirely. Around the same time, there was a growing conversation in the SC community about mining, specifically about how long it takes. Players reported spending entire play sessions scanning asteroid fields, hours of active effort, before finding ore deposits worth extracting. And when they do find something, filling even a small mining ship's cargo hold can take the better part of a session. The community framed this as a game design problem, a balance problem. The scanning loop is too long, the reward too uncertain, the whole thing needs tuning. And they're not wrong about the symptom, but the underlying cause is the same static economy problem wearing different clothes. Now, CIG is working on something called Genesis. It's a new planet generation system that uses physically based rules to place rocks, terrain, and resource deposits across planetary surfaces in a way that reflects geology, biome, and erosion logic rather than hand placement. And that is a genuine improvement. Deposits will appear where a planet's geology says they should. The physical world will feel more coherent. A miner will be able to read the terrain and find ore in places that make geological sense. But, and this is the critical distinction, geological logic and economic logic are two different things. A deposit appearing where erosion simulation says it should is not the same as a deposit appearing where the market is signaling it's needed. In a functioning emergent economy, mining difficulty and ore availability wouldn't just follow physical rules. They'd respond to economic signals. When commodity prices are high, when the market genuinely needs quantanium or agricium, those signals would direct miners toward the most valuable deposits. More miners would enter the market. Accessible deposits would deplete. Harder to reach deposits would become worth the effort because the reward justifies it. Supply and difficulty would calibrate to each other through market pressure. Genesis improves the supply side of the physical world, but it doesn't connect that physical world to the economic world. That connection between where rocks physically exist and where the market economically needs them is what StarSim is supposed to provide. And right now, that connection doesn't exist. A miner spending 3 hours scanning asteroids isn't responding to an economic signal telling them where their effort is most valuable. They're searching a physical world that has no idea what the economy needs. The economy isn't talking to the supply chain, and the supply chain isn't talking back. Two symptoms, two ends of the same broken system. On the demand side, trillions of credits flood the market and commodity prices don't respond. On the supply side, miners spend hours searching for ore the market can't even signal a need for. Genesis will make the physical world smarter, but it takes StarSim to make the economic world alive. Price spikes would direct mining effort, increased supply would correct prices. Sellers would enter when margins were worth it and exit when they weren't. The feedback loop would run continuously, not because a designer scripted it, but because it would emerge from individual agents responding to market signals. Instead, nothing on either end. And CIG's only available tool is the same one any designer has when their static system breaks under pressure. Press reset, which is precisely what StarSim is supposed to make unnecessary. Let's bring this back to where we started. The 2010 flash crash was subsequently studied using an agent-based financial market model. Researchers introduced a single institutional trader agent mimicking the real-world sell algorithm and reproduced the crash dynamics. The simulated market collapsed and recovered in a pattern consistent with what happened on May 6, 2010. That's the power of ABM. You can take a real catastrophic event, a $1 trillion market collapse, build a model of the agents involved, and reproduce the outcome from the bottom up. Not because you scripted the collapse, but because the same interaction dynamics produce the same emergent result. Now apply that logic to StarSim. Each quantum agent is exactly that, an agent. It has a marginal cost, a set of desires, a skill level, a resource inventory, and a decision rule. Hundreds of thousands of them, independently deciding whether to mine, haul, trade, or idle, based on current prices, current supply, and their own internal state. The collective behavior of those decisions is supposed to produce prices, trade routes, mission availability, and regional economic conditions from the bottom up. No designer sets the number. The number emerges. But here's what makes StarSim categorically different from every academic ABM ever built. Every model we've discussed, Schelling, Sugarscape, the electricity market, the flash crash simulation, runs in a controlled environment. Cooperative inputs, known parameters, a finite number of agents behaving according to their programmed rules. StarSim runs with over 1 million human players as live inputs. Players who will dupe commodities until the currency is worthless. Players who will corner markets, grief trade routes, form economic monopolies, and exploit every price signal the system produces. In academic ABM terms, every one of those behaviors is an exogenous shock, an input from outside the model that the model didn't anticipate. The flash crash happened because of one exogenous shock, a single large cell algorithm. StarSim will face millions of them, simultaneously, every day. Understanding that is the only way to appreciate what CIG is actually attempting, and why, regardless of whether it ships, it deserves to be taken seriously as a computational economics problem. So here's where we are after 2 episodes. We know Star Citizen's current economy is mostly static, and we've now seen what that means in practice. A duping crisis floods the universe with trillions of credits. The commodity markets don't respond. A designer presses reset. We know agent-based modeling is a real academic discipline, one that produces emergent behavior nobody designed, used by central banks, universities, and research institutions around the world. And we know that StarSim is an attempt to apply that discipline at a scale and under conditions that have no academic precedent. In the next episode, we're going to go inside the quantum agent itself. What does one actually look like? What are its rules? How does it make decisions? And how do hundreds of thousands of them running simultaneously produce anything resembling a functioning economy? If you found this useful, subscribe. This series only gets more interesting from here.